Alright, this is the jig to cut the slots in the long boards from the previous video, and it has a flaw. Does anybody know what the flaw is? Comment down below before you watch the rest of this video. Go ahead and pause this now and see if you can figure out what this flaw is. This jig as it is unusable, but it can be saved. It can be modified. Alright, so the flaw is, remember when I was talking about how when I make this cut to cut this board into two pieces, I said I was going to have to take off this bracket so that I wouldn't cut it also? Well, the problem is if I'm running the saw down here, it's very easy to cut this bracket off anyway, even in the normal use of using this jig. So, and it's made even worse by the fact that the place where you clamp it on is so close to this adjustment bar that the saw almost has to start almost right on top of this anyway. So to fix this, I'm going to move this piece again. I did have it in completely the wrong side here, and I moved it to here, and I'm going to move it a third time to somewhere in the middle, and then I'm going to put some blocks, some like we have this guide here. I'm going to put a guide down here just to stop the saw, if you were to reverse the saw, to stop it so that you don't back up and accidentally cut this. And I'm going to put another block up here so that, you know, the saw doesn't come up and cut this one. And at the same time, while I'm doing this, for another enhancement is I'm worried that trying to clamp this from below may not always be possible. I'd like to be able to clamp it from the top, but there's no way to do that right now. So what I did is I took a 2x6, and there's another video where I explain how you can save a twisted board by running it through a thickness planer and how to do that. And this is the result. You can see it's quite a bit thinner than it started out, but it's not twisted anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and mount it underneath here like this, right around, well, let's see, let's slide this over. This will be mounted somewhere around here, and that will give room to clamp from the top out here, avoiding the motor of the circular saw. By extending this out, we'll have a clamping room here, and to keep the jig from twisting, I think it's important to also clamp it from this side. So I'm going to extend this out this way so we'll be able to clamp this on both sides. So let me pause the video and make those changes, and then I'll show you the results. Alright, the modifications are done, and I have a piece of scrap wood here to show you the results. Let's say we want to take a notch out of this board, roughly in here. All you really need to do, and we'd be taking away this wood here as well, all you really need to do is mark one side of where you want your edge to be, because the width will be controlled by the width of this channel. So once you have one side marked, then what you can do is take the jig and lay it on here so that your one side matches up with the line where you want it to be, and then take a clamp, and now we've got this extension so we can clamp out here. Once you've got it tight, you can then take the circular saw, and because I moved everything further up, we're no longer in danger of cutting this guide rail off. Plus I put the extra stop piece down here and the extra stop piece up here. So you would take your circular saw with the edge up against this guide on this side, make your first cut. You could then move the circular saw up against this edge and make another cut. And if you want to, then you could make multiple cuts in here to eat away all the wood in that, or you could use a saw or something manual to take it out if you want, maybe even a chisel or something like that if you need to. Now the extra board that I made as part of the jig, I haven't cut this out yet, so that's fine. The first few times I use this jig, it will eat away this part of the wood, and that's okay. And I think that will fix the problems, and the jig will now be usable. All right, bye.